The end is near as we are in episode 7, so I'm not going to be cutting the footage much in this 28-minute episode as we move towards the Great Storm. So we need to upgrade our stock to houses, and of course at the moment we are still fairly restricted on our resources, but what we slowly need to do is upgrade everything to houses. Okay, so again, speeding up time, and just to let you guys know, what I am going to be doing is another 2024 series for Frostpunk, which will be with Faith. Because I thought I've done one with Order, so what I should also do is do one with Faith, and we will see the difference between the two. And the difference that I will do with Faith is I'm going to go for a much purer playthrough. So we have, hopefully, less deaths and everything else throughout the course of the series. And again, you can follow it to get yourself through the end of the game and get that lovely little cutscene that shows you your progress throughout the game once you've successfully completed it. Okay, so we've got our factory. What we do want to do is get some more automatons. Now, the more automatons that you can get, the better. Ideally, at the very minimum, you want all your coal mines, your 2 steel works, and ideally 1 or 2 wall drills with automatons. So if you count that up, you are talking 3 coal mines, 2 steel works and 2 wall drills. So a total of 7 automatons. Bearing in mind, those buildings also require steam cores as well as you level everything up. Right, so we have our 2 wall drills being built. We have 1 functioning actually, and the second being constructed. Again, let's just have a quick look, and we want to put in some resource depots. Now, the resource depots, you need to store your resources as everything moves along. Now, that sawmill has run out of resources, so we might as well deconstruct it and build one in another location where we've still got wood. There we go, and looking, we've got our 2 wall drills. Again, we've got the automatons on, and we use the foreman ability for Order, which increases our production rate. Now, these are still manned by people, our steelworks, so again, eventually we will get automatons working in there as well. Now, our research is at about 95%, so that should be finished momentarily, and our resource depot crew are actually waiting. We haven't actually got them to build the resource depot yet at Tesla City to start bringing back steam cores. Now, what research do we want to do? Ideally, we want to get the home redesign, because what that does is it makes it cheaper to construct the houses. As I said, our crew there are just sitting there waiting, and we need to build the outpost depot to bring the steam cores back, and we are on day 32, so again, we haven't even sent them out yet. So there's our outpost depot. Do we wish to disband? Yep, we're too close to the end of the game now, to be fair, to get any more valuable resources, so we might as well disband them. And onwards and forwards we go. So get propaganda underway. That's going to give us a nice little hope boost as the weather is deteriorating, and of course the storm is approaching. Now, down the left hand side you can see a large number of things that we need to do before the storm arrives. So we need to rescue all of the survivors, we need to research generator power upgrade 3, and we need to gather at least a week's worth of food to be able to survive. Now, on this playthrough, as I said earlier in the series, it's not the best end that I've ever had, but again, I recorded it, sat down and played this pretty much in, I think, 2 sessions, the whole game, end to end. But again, it's enough to get you to the end game. It's certainly far from an extreme playthrough. Again, it's on medium difficulty, it's not on hard. And again, it's just for you guys so that you can actually get through to the end of the game and get that achievement for yourselves. So we've got another new automaton, lovely stuff. What we need to do is check and see what we don't currently have automatons on. So there we go, steam steelworks. Let's turn the automaton on and increase the production. So there we go, both of our steamworks now have automatons, and we've got some survivors to bring back from the wasteland. We've still got 2 yellow dots. Now, of course, each one of these we're going to have to bring back people. And in this version of the game, the storm approaches from one direction. So it approaches from that angle and then comes across. So the more southerly items to the storm are explorable for longer. But there we go. We can reduce our steam output, so we've turned off the overdrive. Again, everything is fairly cold, and we do need to build as many houses as we possibly can, starting from the outside and working our way in, because we've got the house redesign and we've got our next piece of research underway, well, ready to be underway for the next day. Now, of course, with the automatons working 24/7, we have resources coming in constantly, which is good. Now, we've got a couple of extra locations to explore, but we only have our 2 scout squads. Ideally, at this point, you should have 3. I didn't research it, so we only have the 2, which does make the possibility of getting some free technology once you've explored Camp Meteor and Camp Compass and you find extra locations. You can get some free research basically for things like house insulation. There's a few other bits of tech that you can pick up in the wasteland, so the frozen wasteland, to bring back to your city. Again, I do hope you guys are all enjoying this series. If you're not currently subscribed, then obviously please do so if you're able to. And at the bare minimum, if you're enjoying the series, then just hit that like button. It does help for me, for the algorithm. Okay, so hungry mother, let's give her 2 food rations straight off the bat. There are certain actions within this game that I always just go with the positive, because there's not really any point in doing the negative. Other people will go, oh, well, why can't we get some food? Yeah, I'm sorry, but, you know, she needs it. So again, just having a look around the city, how everything's doing. We've got our automaton on. We can use our foreman ability to increase our production. Now, we have got a very decent amount of steel and wood at the moment, but again, keep using that foreman ability to increase our daily production. Now, of course, when you've got a automaton working and you use a foreman, you're getting 24 hours of extra resources instead of the working shift from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. So again, we're going with houses. Now, once you've got houses, that's it. That is the best living accommodation that you can have. So there's nothing better. The only thing that you can do above and beyond that is do the research for insulation, which makes the houses even better at withstanding the cold. So again, let's get some more houses in. There we go. And done. We are out of steel again. But that's a large chunk of our housing stock being upgraded, and better off, the temperature has actually just gone up by 1 level before we start seeing it drop again. So we're at minus 60. Okay, food theft causes riots. Ooh, what should we do? So we're going to post guards to supervise the cooks, because the cooks have been stealing rations. And of course, because we're in the order path, that's what we can do. We can post some guards. Again, waiting. We need to get these guys sent back out. Hopefully manage to get to Camp Meteor. We'll find out. Okay, research has... Oh no, actually we're still doing research. But of course we also need the difference engine to be able to do the final tier of research. Okay, again running the game on high speed, of course, just to get things underway. And again, just keep hitting that high speed. Okay, the scouts have returned safely to the city with some more people. We've got lots of desperately ill people now, but we need to immediately send our other squad back out to Camp Compass and hopefully catch those people at the very end just before the storm hits. Okay, so again, our medical facility, so our infirmary, we want to get everything with extra food rations just so we can get people healed a bit quicker, because we've got 29 and we've got 19 sick and 18 desperately sick that are basically close to being dead. And again, there's not a huge amount we can do about that. We've got our care home as well. There's lots of kids in the care home. We're full we're 20 out of 20, so fully stocked. We should maybe build some more medical facilities, but again, it is what it is. You can basically stumble through the end of this game. Once you get to a certain point, you're going to be okay. We're going to build a prosthesis just to get that handicapped person back into the workforce, even though we've got 159 people currently unemployed. As you get towards the end of the game, the number of people that don't have jobs, it doesn't really matter. As long as you're getting all of your resources, you're fine. Okay, there we go. Generator efficiency is done. Let's go for the next level, which is the difference engine. Again, our coal consumption is now a little bit under what we're producing, and we still need to produce more, but again, that's fine. And this episode is going to close out just before the Great Storm hits, when everything goes bonkers and you do have to survive that end section of the game. Okay, going back to resources, we want resource depots just to store stuff, because as you can see, our food rations and our coal is starting to peak out. Now let's see where we can put some extra ones. We could put another one there, and that's us out of steel again. I mean, there are certain efficiencies that I will do in the second series of this that I do for Faith that I haven't done within this playthrough, really to show you the variance of play, what you can do and how the game can go very differently depending on Order and Faith. So this Order playthrough I've done very kind of minimalistically, which is just enough to get through to the end game with a reasonably good playthrough. And then the next series that I'm doing will be a much more efficient playthrough. So again, let's get some more houses in. We're down to the center ring now, which is good. So we've got pretty much all houses, and we've still got a day, 2 days and a bit until the temperature starts dropping again, and you can see the storm just appearing on the right hand edge. So we're going to send the drunks home. Always send them home. There's no point in doing anything worse. And again, you can go around and lock up people if you want, but again, it's not necessary. So what we're doing is a patrol just to get our hope back up again. And every opportunity you have, you should use to boost your hope. Again, we've got a while till propaganda is going to be done. Let's go to our book of laws. What do we have? We can use the agitator to improve work productivity. We've got the pledge of loyalty. But the agitators work quite well if you want to use them to improve workplace productivity. So agitator. So we'll sign that one, and now of course what we do need to do is build some. So go to there, go to agitator. It's 10 wood and 10 steel, and I think we need to build 2 or 3 of them. So let's put one down there for the steel, and let's put another one there for the coal mines, and then we can put another one here, which is also going to improve the cookhouse, the factory, and the 2 coal mines. Again, speed up time. There we go. Just clocking through these days, looking back up, seeing how everyone's doing, looking at where the storm is, just to see if those guys are actually going to be able to make it or if they're going to die. Okay. Agitators have been built, fantastic. Let's create some more storage space for food rations. Our coal is doing well. Again, we're reaching the crazy point now. You know, there's only a few days before the storm's going to hit. You want to kind of pile on your research as much as possible. And of course, we want as many hunters hangers as possible as well. To get as much food into the city as we can before the storm hits. And I can tell you now that this playthrough there is not going to be enough food for everyone, and we are going to hit a bit of a struggle point, but again, it is what it is. We are going to get through to the end of the game successfully. Okay, so again, automatic prototyping has now been researched, fantastic. Boosted scout sleds, oh, we need 40 steel. Sorry, it's 80 steel, I think that is. And wait till we've got enough resources. We've got enough. Pause the game a second. Alright, there we go. Boosted scout sleds. That's going to cut and shave the time in half for our crews that are out there in the frozen wasteland, so that's definitely worth doing. Okay, again, what else do we currently have? Well, we can plop down another resource depot. Where do we want to put it? Or depot, whichever way you want to say it. Again, get that built. Just keep basically speeding up and slowing down the game at this point, depending on how comfortable you are. We are looking, I mean, we've got 1,218 food rations. Now, one of the things that you could do at this point is actually change it to soup. Because soup will massively increase the amount of rations that you've got. So there's something that you can do that I haven't shown on this. And again, they're at Camp Meteor. Carry on, there's nothing to do here. They've found large crater and scattered convoy. Well, they're already frozen. Those guys are about to get there, so we're going to have to fly back down to the south. But of course we will get those boosted scout sleds, which will make them a bit quicker. So we've lost out on the potential of technology there that would have given us free research, basically. Okay, again, frantic playing at this point in time. What do we want? Let's go with some more wood storage. Again, they're now at Camp Compass. Escort the scientists to our city. So there's basically 18 scientists. Or we could let the scientists return to the city without actually taking them back. That is an option, and you've then got ice caves and fortified hut. So it's a decision. So direct and then go to the fortified hut. Don't know if they're going to make it or not, but again, this is where it starts getting a little bit on the challenging side. Basically deciding what you're going to do. Now, if you play this right and you've got everything upgraded, which you will see on the next series that I do, it does make it a bit easier on yourself. Oh, one of our people died. There we go. So people are starting to die, but we are down to 29 sick that are being looked after, and only 2 people that are not currently being looked after. Okay, as you can see, everything's getting frozen solid now. Again, we got our researchers at 63%. It's the middle of the night again. We've got 18 people walking back to the city. And again, we'll go for the houses that we need to build, just because we now need some extra people. So we need some extra houses. Again, go to house. We need to find some spots that are warm. So again, there we go. That's near a tower, and it's near a steam hub as well. And speed up time, because there are 20 people in that group. Well, 18. Okay, so again, bit of speeding up time. So 2 of our people died, 1 of our people died. Now our hope is going to take a battering each time people die, but we've got our propaganda, so let's get our propaganda underway. And we can do another patrol. That's going to boost our hope a little bit more as well. But again, we are starting to see people perish. Okay, again, just having a look out in the frozen wasteland. Okay, these guys are probably going to make it. Again, let's go back into the city. But those guys should make it in the next hour, and then we should be able to send them back. And what we can do is we can then get our scouts to grab onto those people at the tail end. Okay, so there we go. Read journal. Ill-fated project. Take technology. Now go and help these guys. And that's it, pretty much. Prayers at work. Force them to work or let them pray. So it is a... It was a gathering post. That's fine. That's going to reduce our coal, but we do have 11,000 coal put aside. And our research is done. Lovely. Boosted scout sleds. So now they're going to move a lot quicker. Now we want either generator power upgrade 3 or the bypass, because we're going to need both of them before the storm hits. And you can see that the crew is only going to take a few hours now to get to them, which is good. And everything else is now boosted. So let's speed up time. Let our research tick through. There's not really a lot we can do at the moment. Everybody has a shelter. We're down to 16 sick, so people are getting better, which is good as well. Again, let's have a look at health. Is there anything else we could do? Hunter's Hangar, we've got one space left, so let's get that done. And maybe build some more hunters' huts, just to get some extra people searching for food. So let's put 4 more down. There we go. Okay, on the verge of death, bring them to the city. That shows up Camp Vulcan, but we're obviously too... Well, we could have probably gone for it, but we are pretty much too late for it. Because the storm is getting too close. The sound of the biting cold wind. Okay, what else could we do? Do we want to put down another resource depot? Yes, we do. We're out of steel again. Fantastic. Okay, the buildings are all being constructed. Generator ready. We did what we could to raise the heat output of the generator. This alone might not be enough. Yep, it isn't going to be. So we want to go with the generator safety bypass as well, which is going to cost us 80 steel, which we don't have at the moment. Is there anything cheap? We also want house insulation, but we need those 2 researches before the storm hits. So hope has risen as well, purely because of that. So we are burning way more coal at the moment, but again, we've stockpiled a huge amount, so that's fine. We could technically turn the generator down because everything is nice and cozy and warm. So just while we don't need it, let's leave it on level 3, and then we'll put it on to level 4 as and when we need it. Again, we've got a big steel requirement here that we don't currently have because we don't have enough steel. Again, infirmary checklists, all of this kind of stuff now is by the by. What we really want is house insulation, healthcare insulation 2, and the generator safety bypass. Everything else is superfluous now. Now obviously we've got all our new buildings as well that we want to put some people in. Let's put our resources in here. Let's go with food rations, and again we want to get these buildings stocked with people, and I don't know why I'm not actually doing it, but okie dokie. I'm just completely ignoring the fact that we've got 4 additional food places and I'm not putting any people into it. So there you go, there's literally me physically seeing a mistake that I was making as I was playing this through. Again, I'm just desperate to keep speeding up the time. Okay, scouts have returned to the city. Survivors rescued. We've survived everyone that we could. Okay, again, these guys are waiting. There is literally no point in going back out into the storm at all. We are right at the end. Okay, so again, I'm speeding up the time. We're going through a whole night, so we've lost an extra 24680 food. Fight over supplies. Okay, fear of the storm. Okay, keep me updated. Let's actually get some people into here. There we go. Okay, we've got 30 sick. Everyone is accounted for. Everyone has a bed, so that's good. And we are moving back towards the end. That's it. The next episode of this series, of course, will be the conclusion, so you can see how it all plays out. We've got someone who's hungry. Not sure how that's actually possible, but oh no, we've got 3 people that are hungry now. These guys are nearly back to the city, and of course they're going to bring a piece of technology with them. Okay. Again, just speeding up time. Might as well disband them. They're not going to need to be used for anything anymore now. And our last group needs to get back as well, and they've got a few hours before they get home. We won't survive this. Yeah. Now we can put down some large depots. It's going to destroy some resources. At this point, don't care. All we need is to build it and get some extra So here we go, here comes the temperature drop, but as you can see, everything is still livable, which is the important thing. Oh, here we go. A mob storms the stockpiles. We will have wood for everybody. 1,240 wood. Disperse the crowd. The city comes first. So we will have wood for everybody because we're actually nearly at the 1,240 wood already. Let's put the wall drills onto foreman's, and that will give us all the wood that we need. That's run out of wood, which is fine. That's being constructed. And again, we should hit the 1,240. There we go. Hope rises. And we're back down to 0 again. So all that wood has been taken into people's homes to help heat during the storm. So extra heating. Obviously, oh, we've got a house there that is actually frozen. And we just got some extra people. That needs heat or it needs demolishing. Or we could whack the range setting up to 2. Or we could just demolish it and build a couple of extra houses. So let's build a couple of extra houses. There we go. And then demolish that one. So we've got 4 people who are homeless, which is fine. Get that house destroyed, get another one built, and we've got enough for all people again. There we go. Okay, so everyone is now in a house that is also covered by steam hubs. Now that's important. Okay. We might as well disband our other crew as well. That's it. All teams back in the city. It's just now time to wait for that dreaded event which comes on the tail of day 37, which is the storm. So steam wall drill has now been researched. Not that we really need it at this point. Let's put some extra storage for food rations and hope that in the one more day of food that we get, we're not going to get anywhere near the 3,000, but as I said, what we could do is open the book of laws and produce soup. Or if you prefer wood additives, then put wood additives into your food. I always go with soup because additives makes way more people sick, and at this point of the game that can actually be quite horrific. So do we need to do anything else on here? Yes, we do. We still need the bypass, but we should also do coal mining as well. But let's do the generator bypass because that's going to give us our maximum chance of survival. So advanced coal mine. We've already got advanced coal mines, so we're all good. Let's put our foremans to work again, just to bring in as much resources as possible as we move towards the end game with a population of 620. I'm telling you now, that's going to come down significantly, but we are going to survive the storm well. Okay, our Book of Laws is ready. Okay, so what we could do is enable soup, which would allow us to double up our rations, or we can go to purpose. But under purpose there is only the pledge of loyalty and forceful persuasion. We don't really need either of them, so the only law that I would have signed, which I don't think I do, is soup, because then you would have been able to gather enough resources before the end to feed everyone throughout the storm. But that's it for episode 7, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All it leaves me to say, of course, is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, Know It All Gaming, good night, and see you on the next episode.